Hello guys, once again it's Matt and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the patrons, make sure to subscribe and let's get into it guys. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the R-73 and the AIM-9M. I already did a video talking about the Python 3 itself, and yeah, the Python 3 is being added, man, for Israel. Does this mean that we need an R-73? Does this mean that we need an AIM-9M? So short answer is no. I mean, I could basically end the video here, but I want to explain myself a little bit. I kind of agree with Gaijin on why these missiles should not be added right now. So the first thing is, of course, we have these more advanced missiles, but there are levels to it. For example, the Python 3 is a very advanced missile. It's a very, very good missile, but it will never be compared, like, in a one-to-one situation, it will never be as good as an R-73. Why? Because it doesn't have thrust vectoring, for example, right? It doesn't have the HMD until, I think, the F-16Cs on the Israeli Air Force. I think, I might be wrong. I don't know if the initial nets had it, but still. So the R-73 will already, if added at all, right now, it will already have an advantage over the base Python 3. And the second thing is that I think they are using the Python, I'm sure that, for sure, the Python 3 is being used to balance it out aircraft that are lacking a little bit. So, for example, we always had a lot of modern, quote-unquote modern Soviet tanks, you know? We had 80s tanks at a while back that were being added, you know? And they used 70s ammunitions for a while, until we actually get the Mango. And even with the Mango, I mean, it wasn't a tungsten ammunition. Why was that? Because the Tech 3 was not ready for it. It was not ready for SVNITs or something like that. It might not even be ready right now, but the point is that when they were actually adding all of these tanks, adding ammunition like this, in this particular example, would be really OP. And the Mango was already a very good, the BM-42 was already a good ammunition. This is the same principle in air. They will always use missiles and weaponry and ammunition and everything like that as a balancing factor. This is where people don't forget about a little bit, that ammunition, yes, I really want an R-73 in the MiG-29, but if it's going to affect balance in a very, very bad way, or like in a very good way, depending on which side you are, it should not be added. Historical accuracy is very good. BRs are very good, the way that they are trying to do. I mean, you need some decompression, but the principle behind it is very good, that we are trying to balance it out, being a little bit realistic and stuff, adding the stuff that the aircraft had in real life. But if it comes down to the fact that the aircraft is being OP or a power creep, it should not be added, even though a lot of people would want it. I would say that out of all the MiG-29 mains, as an example, like the Germans and the Soviet mains that fly with the MiG-29, I would say that 90% of them want the R-73 to be added as soon as possible, right now. Does this mean that we should have it? No. So the community, even though, yes, we need to hear it, and Gaijin itself needs to hear it as well, I think there are some principles that we need to, like, stay right next to it, unless we will have a very bad power creep. So the R-73 is that. Why? Because the MiG-29 is already an amazing aircraft. The Yak-41 is already an amazing aircraft, you know? You can even say that the F-16 with the AIM-9L is already a very, very good aircraft. And it has sparrows, something that the Nets doesn't have it. So if you take a look on all of the aircraft that have R-60Ms right now, AIM-9Ls, most of them, you know, we have the F-16ADFs, you have the MLU, you have the MiG-29, the Yak-41, you have aircraft like that. There are the top tiers of the aircraft, the branches of the air, and also the F-14 being added, the F-14B. They all have the AIM-9L or the R-60M, which are, you know, one of the best missiles in the game. Yes, some of them are better, some of them are worse, depending on the situation. The AIM-9L normally is better in the overall sense, Magic 2 as well, for example. But in a sense, they are there they are daring aircraft that are already amazing, man. Not only they already have a very good IR missile, or one of the best in the game, like the AIM-9M and the R-60M and the MatAWG 2, but also they have BVRs. That's the main thing. That's the X of the question, right? The R-27ER is, for me, the best BVR missile in the game. It's one of the fastest missiles, accelerating missiles, even though, yes, it is a semi-active missile and the Phoenix has its own thing of being active and stuff. But even with that, the advantage of having the R-60M, which is already an amazing missile, together with the R-27ER or the ADF, for example, that has an AIM-9M, together with the Sparrow, which is a very good missile as well. Of course, it has its problems, and I still think that an F-16C should come, and with better, power to weight and a better radar specifically. But even with that, they have kind of a broad approach to everything. They have basically a good part of the aircraft being every single type of combat, BVR, IR, dogfights and stuff. And when you come to Israel, we don't have that. You have the Kafir, which is a very, very severely, it's not that good. It's a third generation aircraft that barely has, doesn't even have a radar. The performance of ETS is better than some of the third generation, but still is lacking. And it has AIM-9Gs, man. Like, come on. The Kurnus. Yes, the Kurnus, of course, APG-76, and right now he has the Sparrow, but it will be removed. It will be just an F4 fighting in the top tier. Come on. It deserves a little bit of some help there. And then we have the Nets, which is basically a Block 10 F-16. Of course, the US also has that, but at least the US has the F-14B that it's coming, it has the F-14A, and it has the ADF, which are all three amazing aircraft and one of the top, three of the top dogs of the game, right? So it all comes down to kind of giving the Israelis a little bit of a break, right? Yes, we are, it's like Gaijin is saying, like, yes, we are not going to dispatch a BVR, a proper BVR aircraft for Israel, but at least we are going to give the Python 3 for them. So maybe that will help them have a better statistics and better overall enjoyment of the game, right? So that's where the X is. Adding an R-73, even though, yes, the Python 3 is better than the R-60M, and I don't know yet, we will need to wait and see. Generally, the Python 3 will turn better than the AIM-9M. I don't know about the IRCCM though, so the AIM-9M might be better there, I don't know, as I said. But even with that, yes, it's just a tiny bit better. It's a missile, an IR missile that is fairly easy to avoid, that it's going to be just helping out in a short range engagement the Israelis. It's nothing OP, it's nothing too crazy, It is going to break the game way less than an R-73. And even the AIM-9M, to be honest, because the AIM-9M is already, like I said, in a general perspective, the AIM-9M is already the best missile in the game, IR, So there is no reason to add the R-73 right now. Yes, I want the R-73. Yes, I want the AIM-9M. But the Python 3 isn't the reason right now to add it. At least think about it like this. If they add the Python 3, which they are basically doing, and it's OP, it will bring the talks of adding the R-73 and AIM-9M, AAM-3s for the Japanese, other missiles like this. So it will bring to the table a little bit more of an advantage that kind of bridges the gap to the future for us in War Thunder. If it's not OP, then it's fine. We are not facing anything that it's way too hard to do, and a plus one is that it's actually adding something unique for the Israelis and the Chinese as well, but especially the Israelis, right? So everybody wins, So those are the reasons why I want the R-73 very much, and the AIM-9M, but more the 73, you know me. But it's not the time for it yet. We don't need another power creep. We need balancing. Yes, the F-14B is added, so more BVR for the US. Next patch, for example, I need a new F-16C for the Israelis, for example, to help the BVR with the Israelis. A new X or Y, just bridging the gap a little bit to the future. but always with the foot on the ground and being balanced. We don't need power creep. We don't need, oh, Russian bias, yes. If you think that the USSR is better right now and it's the best nation to play right now, we don't need the US to be the best nation in the game so that the power creep goes in the balance and in the swing, right? Go back and forth and back and forth between nations. We need balancing. Of course, there will always be some unbalancing and some form of power creep, but as much as possible, balancing needs to be a thing. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe. And let me know in the comments what you think about my opinion. Do you think the R-73 and AIM-9M should be added right now? Or do you agree it's not the right time yet? Anyway, I see you guys in the next one, and bye.